what's going up, guys? It's your hostess with the mostest, Anomalycyra, your favorite living good girl. Let's get into it. Well, holy fuck, we're at war, so I guess you can't just go to the forest anymore. There might be a fucking bomb in it. So now we're learning that you have to fight for your rights, and anyone that was focused on anything small in their own country can probably realize that they don't have how safe you really are. If anything, this teaches everyone outside of the complicated areas that you have safety that you really need to be grateful for. And our prayers really go out to those that don't have the same privilege. And we really just need to have respect for it right now. Here's the worst thing I've seen. So I saw some celebrity giving a mind-numbing explanation of how she would love Putin as a child and he would be kinder, or I don't know what. I guess she's trying to help, but she just seems like a moron and making it about herself, really, when it really has nothing to do with Hollywood or, you know, her ideals of what should have happened in his childhood. Like, people are dying right now. I'm not sure what that video does. It seems really insensitive. Just seems insensitive. There are a couple of these videos from these celebrities. I feel right now like celebrity is getting out of hand, where they think they're political or some politician or something. You know, people like a movie you were in, or they like music that you play. That's it. You know, in the 1400s or the times of the royals, you would have been a jester. You know, you dance around and sing songs for my entertainment. Like, don't give me your fucking ideas about, you know, what you would have been nurturing or caring. This didn't seem nurturing or caring to say any of that. Sorry, it just kind of pissed me off. You know, like, I could, you know, if you have any empathy, you put yourself in other people's shoes, and then you see insensitive things like that, and it's just, it can send me right off. And, you know, I really didn't, so I was looking over into another Joe Rogan clip of, like, I didn't know we still went to war, and he kind of had a point. I thought it was more like a paperwork thing, you know, AI battle. Maybe this wouldn't be such a bad idea to think about, you know, more computer-y based things. I mean, I don't like the idea of kids fighting each other for these really super old people's just random ideas or revenge they've got on each other. I don't think that somebody's son needs to go die for that. I really don't. And everyone's got an opinion, everyone's got a say. So what I'm going to say is that it's war, it's touchy, it's sensitive. Some people are insensitive, and we're going to do our best to just be respectful and not be over opinionated about it either, because I think in a way that's also respectful. Like, you know, if you can't really do anything to help, don't cause more issues, you know, or upset someone listening to it. You know, you just or at least, you know, this is from my own point of view. I hear a lot of opinions about it that are being shared, and I'd rather not be one amongst the crowd. I think our prayers go with them, and that I think they're going to go down in history for what they're about to do. There are some heroes, there's some badass motherfuckers over there, and I think they're going to do what they were put in those titles to do. The leaders of the military will do what they're supposed to do. They have an amazing president behind them. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's even down on the lines with them, and that's a threat to his life. So we'll pray for his family that they stay safe, and just someone knock Putin over the fucking head. I don't even feel like this is something he would have done. It feels out of character. It feels rushed. It feels very brash. What is this? It's a one last grab for the USSR. Nobody wants. It's very weird that he jumped into this right in between when he had a pipeline going with Germany, all of the money in the UK. They were just talking about the pipeline going from Russia to Alaska. I mean, this does not make sense. This is going to put them back so fucking far. The country of Russia. You know, They need to change leaders. Don't blame the country for the bullshit leaders they get sometimes. You know, places have to be ruled, and sometimes, you know, what is that called? A snake in the garden. You know, sometimes there's a snake in the garden, and they might have been really good for keeping the foxes out, because they'll bite them and the foxes stay out of the garden. But you still gotta deal with the goddamn snake. So this is an issue everyone has to deal with now. Your gas prices are going up. Your flights are going to be longer. They're going to cost more. So it's just going to be touching a couple of people, yes. And then for the stock market, unfortunately, it's going to be fucking amazing. Gold is going up. Oil is going up. You're going to be cashing in like no tomorrow, which also makes me feel like just the blood money that is coming from this. It's saturated. And there's an uneasy feeling in the air. Not just a war feeling, just is this what we're still at in 2022? Is this still what happens? We're still not any type of peaceful people. This world should be somewhere near that, you would think by now. I remember being a kid thinking of the year 2000 and, you know, how futuristic it would be and diplomatic. What happened? What happened indeed? This may not be a long one. I didn't want to do a big rant or too much opinion about it, but a little bit in my video before I was talking about if you lived in the forest it wouldn't bother you, but I mean if you're in the forest anywhere near there it would, or if you needed supply from somewhere. So, you know, sometimes you're in the moment and you're just like in the groove, and the only thing that I would take that back from is because of war. Other than that, then yes, you don't have to really be concerned with it. I guess, look, if you wanted to, I guess you could still live that way, but I still think it matters to feel informed or know some kind of information about the world that's happening around you, and to pick a side. You don't have to pick a side. You want to be neutral. We can all be Switzerland. That's fine. But you know, I love history, and I've researched. I researched the villain and the hero. So, I think if anything, this was a good lead up for. Well, it has to happen. It's already happening. So, if this is going to be the Darth Vader, we definitely need to find out who our hero is. And you know, I think the president of the Ukraine is really stepping up more than what people thought he would, and it's. At the end of the play, we both applaud for the villain and the hero. And it's really dark. And I mean, I guess, yeah, this is a part of like growing up, and everything can't be bunnies and lollipops, but I get very sensitive, and I think I like to stay in the nicer side of the world, but I can't ignore cruelties and bloodshed that happened. So we had to have a conversation about it. We had to talk about it a little bit, you know. As for that, the next part, I wanted to say, I saw something that actually rang true about what's going on right now. And it talked about this being a war planet. Now, you might have heard this too. So, you know, but I wanted to elaborate into that, where there are all kinds of different ways to exist. But I think in this realm, in this dimension, in this planet, you know, planet 3482-C, war seems to be what happens. You know, you have people that fight over, you know, a stick of gum, a block of street, a neighborhood, a state, countries. You know, once we get on Mars, we'll be fighting over that too. But it just seems like we fix everything with bloodshed. So everything's been won on blood. And even the things that are beautiful, somewhere down the line of its existence, it was won off of the blood of the innocent. And, you know, I'm trying to keep my lighthearted, airy-fairy point of view about reality and the world. But ideals like this that start coming in and they really start ringing true, they're so, I mean, I've been an innocent person who's been hurt. I've known innocent people who have gotten hurt. It is always the innocent person who is hurt. And it feels like maybe that's what this reality warring planet is. So you need to toughen up. You need to be a warrior type. You need to have your weapons about you, and your own individual self. So that's why you need to have your career together. You need to have your love life straight. You have to be in physical shape. Like, you have to have your mental health together. Like, relearning all of this as I'm like growing into myself more, accepting myself more, loving myself more, having all this validation from the outside world of my accomplishments are really good, but there's nothing like the inside validation of being like, wow, you know, I've come so far, and I really have, and I'll keep coming up with more places to go because I love growing and changing and challenging myself and pushing myself to know more and do more and be more. And that's always something I think everyone should be doing. You know, if you're not growing, you're dying. And I don't want to be stagnant water. So I always try to make sure that that God particle, that free-flowing effervescence of the Lord is always refreshed in me. And I take that through, you know, I read my Bible, I try to do a meditation, but not really, not the way that other people say they meditate. Geez, people say they meditate for 30 minutes, an hour. My meditation is watching a zombie game, 7 days, probably walk through with Glock 9 on YouTube. This is my meditation, you know. I can't help but be a little bit silly because it's just my personality, guys, but I definitely wanted to check back in with you, and I hope you're all doing okay, and sending much love to my listeners who are in the Ukraine right now. You have way more to worry about, but if you need to take your mind off of something, feel a little love and support. You know, I hope this was able to do some of that. We're going to keep it short, and thank you to all our other amazing allying countries, you know, Germany, Ireland, Finland. Thank you. We love you. And just keep up the prayers and stay strong. And those that don't pray, positive thoughts, good energy, good vibes. And we'll speak to you guys next time. Stay strong. All right. Bye.